I love water. Water is unironically my favorite drink on the planet. I don't just drink water because it's good for me and because my body needs it. I thoroughly enjoy drinking water. If I was at a restaurant and I didn't have to pay for anything and I had a choice between beer, water, tea, coffee, a mango lassi, I'm choosing water every single time. And look, I have a complicated love-hate relationship with these plastic sports bottles. They're everywhere because they're so useful. They're relatively cheap and lightweight so that you'll actually take water with you and stay hydrated. They don't leak water so you can easily throw it in a bag. They fit in cup holders. They have a sports top so that you could squeeze water into your mouth when you're working out, when you're driving, when you're biking. They come in custom little things, like this is my vegan, organic, gluten-free sports bottle that I sold 2 years ago. But they also kind of suck. And I have to admit, even as somebody who has sold these in the past, that I hate plastic sports bottles. But something I don't hate is this message from our sponsor, Wabi Cycles. Wabi is hands down just the funnest bike that I've ever thrown a leg over, and they're a pretty dang good value for your money. Stick around until the end of the video and be sure to check out Wabi Cycles linked in the description to learn more about them. If you've used these plastic sports bottles and you've had to buy more than one round of them because they just don't last, you know exactly why they suck. The main problem with them is that they're really hard to clean. Like, these are specialized purist bottles, and the purist is that like, oh, they have a special coating inside so that it doesn't taste like plastic, but that also makes it really hard to clean because you can't scrub and get with a bottle brush and get inside there and really thoroughly clean it. So all your cleaning has to be just with soaking with soapy water or soaking with vinegar or using really hot water, which over time, that might work in the beginning, but as slime, it's nasty. These things get so nasty, I hate them. But as like slimy bacteria film starts to accumulate inside the bottle, it ends up needing to be scrubbed. The problem is if you scrub it, you end up scrubbing off that coating, and then it tastes like plastic when you drink out of the bottle. Or even then, if you don't even scrub it, if you just soak the bottle in like warm soapy water overnight, the bottle will then absorb that soapy taste or absorb the vinegar taste. Or even if you just put in some electrolyte tablets that are flavored inside here, it'll absorb that flavor in whatever water that you put inside. Now it tastes like whatever flavor was soaking in this thing. These plastic sports bottles, they just don't really last because they're made out of plastic. The experience of using it, especially if you intend on using it regularly for more than like 6 months or so, it kind of sucks. I've had these bottles for 2 years now. They're pretty much dead. Like, I can still put water in them, drink out of them. The caps don't leak, nothing like that. It just tastes plasticky. It tastes soapy. And it's like, yeah, you can do things like use denture cleaners and some other bubbly formulas. I haven't tried that out personally. Let me know in the comments if you have, if you've had good experience with it. On top of that, they're kind of small. This is the big one. It's 26 ounces. It's not a lot. Compare that to like a metal water bottle or a bigger plastic water bottle like a Nalgene, which you can clean more easily, then those go up to like a liter plus. They give you a lot more water. Even when I'm just going out for like a medium distance ride in mild temperatures, like it's 75 degrees right now, I would have to refill both of these water bottles. I would drink both of them, have to refill them, and drink both of them again just because they're so small. They don't really give enough water for the types of things that I'm doing. And it's a sports bottle, but they don't hydrate you enough for doing sports. There's just so many problems with the plastic sports bottle that I've just decided, why am I dealing with this? If these have so many problems, these bottles just kind of suck. This is the best solution that I've found. Stainless steel water bottles, whether it's the Klean Kanteen or the Hydro Flask or whatever your favorite water bottle brand is, these are better. They are easy to clean. They don't taste nasty after a few months of using them. You can throw these in the dishwasher and it'll clean them pretty well. Like, I have no problems just throwing these in the dishwasher. That's how I clean mine. And that is really not the case with the plastic sports bottles. Like, for whatever reason, the dishwasher just doesn't clean them well enough in my experience. On top of that, they have a super big opening, so you can get in there with a bottle brush, and it's just stainless steel inside, so that you're not scraping off any coating, any plastic coating, and it's not going to absorb any flavors. You don't have to worry about damaging the inside of these water bottles because they're made to be clean. They're made to last. They're made out of better materials. You can soak them in vinegar, you can soak them in soap, you can throw in some electrolyte tablets in here. It's gonna taste clean after you wash it. Wow, amazing. The problem with these water bottles though, they're a little bit heavier, and if you're a biker, that might be of a concern to you. Personally, it's not a concern to me. But the main concern is that these, how do you put this on a bike? Yeah, I was pretty amazed when I found out that water bottle cages that can hold these big 1 liter stainless steel water bottles actually exist. I have on here is the Velo Orange Mojave cage. There's also some other ones, like the Arundel Looney Bin is the one that my friend uses for his hydro flask, the 32-ounce one. And there's also a lot of other ones that you could find a pretty comprehensive list on what bottles fit into what bottle cage on bikepacking.com, linked in the description. But for the Velo Orange Mojave cage, this perfectly fits the, how big are you? 1-ish liter, 40-ounce 1.2 liter Klean Kanteen. You can get these anywhere. A lot of people have these. And just like that, it doesn't wobble at all. It doesn't rattle. When it's on the down tube position, I don't even notice that it's on my bike. And it can also work on the C-tube position, but I find that it does rub my calves ever so slightly when it's on the C2 position. It's not enough for me to care. Your mileage may vary though. And I also have some pretty big calves too. But yeah, I absolutely love the Velo Orange Mojave cage. I currently just refuse to use any other bottle cage because it can carry a freaking 40-ounce Klean Kanteen. How sick is that? And it perfectly fits. And if I could have 80 ounces of water just on my bike, I could even carry more water in my basket or in a bag. That is killer. Something to note though with the Mojave cage is that it will scuff up the bottle a little bit. So you can see on mine, I have the black one. It does have a coating on top of it. So if you get the silver one, it will probably scuff up your bottle a little bit more. But this black coating does add a little bit of a protective layer. With the 32-ounce hydro flask, it does rattle and move around a little bit. It probably wouldn't be so much of a problem if you just added some bar tape or something around the edge, but something like the Arundel Looney Bin would be better if you are a hydro flask drinker. And if you can hear it, if you have some grit on your bottle or on your bottle cage, it might scrape a little. It might make an unpleasant screeching sound, but that is a sacrifice that I'm willing to make to have more water, cleaner water, and a bottle that's just better. I use this bottle just when I'm at home, when I'm doing anything. This is what I drink water out of, and it's nice to just be able to grab it, put it on my bike, and go, and not have to worry about washing an additional bottle that's specifically for the bike or anything like that. I'm also super stoked because the Velo Orange Mojave cage not only is super useful and just makes riding better for me, but it also still looks pretty classy. And of course, it's not going to be as easy as a sports bottle to just bite up the little nubbin on top and squeeze it into your mouth when you're riding your bike. but it's still possible to drink while riding. You just have to admit that, okay, I have to do this now and commit some mental resources to drinking water when you're riding your bike. Like, if you can ride no-handed, it's not a huge problem. But yeah, you just gotta unscrew the cap, ride no-handed, sit up, and sip while riding, ideally slower. But it is totally doable. It just takes a bit more skill than that. For these different water bottles, I'm pretty sure that they also come with sports caps to make it even easier to drink water while you're riding your bike and doing things, but I wanted to go with max cleanliness, so I'm just sticking with the basic cap with the least amount of crevices for mold to grow and all that good stuff. There's certainly trade-offs when you're using a metal water bottle instead of a plastic sports bottle when you're biking, but the main point of a water bottle is to give you water, okay? This just does a better job. I refuse to use any other bottle cage other than a Velo Orange Mojave, just because it's so great and it just makes riding and drinking my favorite beverage on earth better. Speaking of making things better, this video is sponsored by Wabi Cycles. Wabi Special is the most fun bike that I've ever ridden, and part of that isn't just the weight. The weight does matter, but the way Wabi's bikes are designed is very holistic. They look at every single thing to make sure that it gives you the best ride quality for your money as possible. Wabi's fixed gear and single speed bikes are constructed with a mostly road-like geometry that's slightly more aggressive for the preferences of us fixed gear riders, because most of us that are buying fixed gear bikes are riding them on the street anyway. And they help to bring the ride quality to life with very lively, supple, lightweight, I know, it's kind of lightweight, but it's still steel, Reynolds 725 or Columbus Spirit tubing. The way that these tube sets flex, they plane really nicely where it feels like the bike is giving in, it's pliable, but not squishy, but still springing back and giving you a responsive ride quality. Because it is steel, it's durable, it can take a beating, it can be locked up, it can be crashed. I have crashed these multiple times before, and they're totally fine. It's the most fun, most reliable daily bike that I've ever ridden. If you're interested in getting one for yourself, be sure to check out Wabi Cycles, linked in the description. And Fixie famous shoutouts to David K, Salvador Lombroso, Julian Corona, Brandon Black, Brent David, Perez, Ted Onchi, and Breakless.Illini for helping to make these fixed gear videos possible through their support on Patreon. And remember that life is short, but don't make it shorter. So be sure to ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.